can I'm distracted by the little sound that
It's
says
it's traumatizing.
the wash
It's
yeah
our
the
dryer.
dryer. Welcome. Today on Business and Belly Laughs, should we allow pets in the office? Let's get your take. What do you think?
Yes, absolutely. She's
Where do you cut
here.
it? It's interesting because some people are animals lovers.
Are not? You're
They're
not.
not. They're not. Well, but Pepper's clearly not an animal. But the one thing that came up, I don't know, not too long ago at the cottage was someone literally complained and said they were scared of dogs. Like,
You talking about at our lake?
yeah. And so I'm sitting there and I never thought about asking. So you just kind of showed Pepper and Pepper. By the
Say
way,
hello.
I'm distracted
Oh,
by the little sound that
it's
says
it's traumatizing. It's
yeah,
our
the
dryer.
dryer. Yeah, well,
It's our
I'm adding
dryer
that to the list.
memory.
We're going to talk about the dryer today.
No, it's literally
But
it's what nightmares are made of. That
the thing
sound.
is, I never thought we bring Pepper to the office and she's like the office mascot. She has a profile picture.
Oh,
She's on the
you never
wall.
thought about
She's been in
asking people?
videos. I actually have never thought about asking everyone, be like, hey, is anyone scared of dogs? Like, is anyone? And I do think that there are probably a few people who are probably a little bit scared's not the right word. Probably hesitant might be the right word. But the thought has never crossed my mind of like, hey, is it okay? Does anyone mind? And because if someone else brought their dog, I feel like there was a day in the past where you and I were at a company where it was like bring your pet to work day or something. There was like multiple dogs that came to the office. Do you remember this, or am I making this up?
I feel like you're totally making it up. I mean,
I'm specifically
we had a
thinking of
friend who used to bring a golden
that's who
into
I'm
the
thinking of. Was it
office.
just them that brought it?
He just brought his dog and the dog would like work underneath his desk and I think he got approval, but also it's like super sad. I don't even know if you know this, but like that dog was kind of dying.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, let's not
Oh,
talk about that.
okay. Well, you
Yeah.
brought it up.
Well, I brought up the happy life part.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I didn't bring up the
No,
death
there was no
part.
such thing as take your pet to work day. That was like
Okay.
absolutely
All
not
right.
allowed.
Yeah. I mean, like, because we would never have like who has,
First,
no one has like office cats, do they?
that would be horrible.
It's like, oh, yeah, that cat's, and it's like, it's weird because a cat like it's like, and like
You're
rubs
acting like
against
you're a
you.
cat guy. I don't even know if you
I'm
know what a
not.
cat.
I'm like not even close to a cat. Yeah, I would be more scared of cats than I would a dog because they
So would
literally
I.
suck your soul out while you're sleeping.
Okay, can I tell a funny story? You're
Sure.
gonna laugh, but so I went to my 20-year high school reunion, and it's your favorite topic in the world, but my ex-boyfriend was there, and we laughed because did I already tell you
Yeah.
this?
Well, I'm laughing.
Yeah, hilarious. So I got him this cat, and she was like the most evil cat in the entire world. Like
Oh my
I
gosh.
like rescued this cat off a boat, and I literally asked him. I was like, "Did I even like ask your mom if I could like purchase the cat, or did I just like show up with an animal in your house one day? Like, what 15-year-old gets their boyfriend an animal? Like, it's insane." But apparently I had approval. And so I buy this kitten. It was a kitten. It was like, must have been a couple weeks old. Like it was
Okay.
literally like a kitten. And it was like a birthday present. And it was really, I was going all out, I guess. And I don't really remember, but it was a kitten that was like rescued from like a boat. It was like this kitten and all of its brothers and sisters were rescued on a boat. So it was kind of like an abandoned cat. And it was a black cat. And this cat was the meanest thing in the entire world, but like it loved its owner. And like I mean this cat hated me. Like I got the cat, and like this cat hated me. Like it was so evil and so scary. And so we were laughing because not the guy that I dated, but his best friend, who I also know really well, the guy from Cali, he was like, if you had any idea how many girls he lost because this cat. And I was kind of like, that's hilarious. I looked right at him and I was like, why didn't you get rid of it? Like, what a bitch. Why would you? And he was like, what? Like, why would I get rid of my cat? But I'm like traumatized him. Anyway, and he kept this cat for all these years. Her name was Kada. And yeah, I would have gotten rid of it day one. That thing was evil. And he was like, I'm not going to lie, I will never have a black cat again in my entire life. Like, I've scarred the entire family.
You know what's the great part of this whole story is that, and I always say this, I say this, I go, you know what? You don't actually have to give all the facts for a story to be good. And let me show you how the story probably should have started. I have a friend in high school.
What do
and
you,
I bought them a cat. And it was so funny. And
you don't just buy a random cat. In fact,
but
you don't
I wouldn't
really.
have cared. I wouldn't have cared in the story. Instead, it's like my high school boyfriend, who I was in love with, madly in love with for multiple years.
Say that.
I bought him a cat as a token of our love, and that's what I'm hearing in my head.
Oh my
You know. By the way, I rekindled it at my 20th reunion, where I was there alone by myself, and you were actually 2,000 miles away, taking care of our love child.
You're insane. You're insane. Anyway, cats are terrifying. And so I can't imagine if anyone was as scared of. Well,
Anyways, that
people
was a
are
public
scared of
service
dogs.
announcement for anyone telling a story about their past and significant
That's
others.
not true. A
You
lot
just
of people
have
don't
to
care about exes unless
I guarantee you it's the 80-20 rule. 80% care dramatically, and the other 20% are going to kill you in your sleep. So that's
What? You're crazy town. We don't know which percent you are, or maybe you're both.
I'm the
Dear,
20.
dear, 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 dear. No, but what I was going to say is when you were originally talking about Pepper coming into the office, I hate to be like someone who doesn't care, but I'm like, if someone was afraid of Pepper, it's kind of like your own problem. I mean, she's a whole 14
it's
pounds.
kind of like that what they always say, like if a dog doesn't like you, then there's probably something wrong with the person, like they're a serial killer.
No, I strongly believe that.
Yeah, I mean,
strongly
if
believe
someone
that.
doesn't like the animal, then there's probably something going on.
No, if
there.
the animal doesn't
But
like
here's
the
thing
person,
is that,
you're
yeah, I
like,
guess
okay,
that's
you're a
it.
mass murderer.
My-
Except
my-
for the cat that didn't like me in high school. That was not my
you're a
problem.
mess. I knew it. I'm going to die in my sleep tonight. When we wake up, like pen is stuck in my throat.
No, if I'm ever upset at you, I guess I didn't realize I had this strategy in my back pocket. I'll just buy you a black cat. You'd literally be like, what the fuck is this? You'd like let it outside.
Well, first
You'd
of
be
all,
like,
we live in a 4-story place. It'd be like, meow.
oh, I cannot believe you just said that. For anyone who missed it, he was indicating he'd throw it off the balcony.
Okay.
This is
cat
why we can't talk
lovers.
about animals.
There went
You are
half
not
of
an
our
animal
audience.
lover. You can't do that. You
Probably
seriously.
more like 10%. I mean,
No,
there's only
the
10% of
world-
people that love cats.
No, the world loves animals.
Yeah.
I
So,
used to
anyways, we've had a very busy week here. We're preparing for a trade show. We're actually getting ready to head out tomorrow for one of our startups' first trade shows, where we're actually getting out there. You know, we've been doing a lot of soft launching and introducing people to it. We did a little blurb where we really pushed to get people to sign up, and then we realized, we gotta do more work, and I've really been pushing the team. But it's really, we're at the point where there's like no going back. Literally no going back. Like we're launched, and we have
With
to be
the
able to take
company in
clients.
general, the office.
Well, just there's only
Or this particular brand,
only
'cause in my
say that you're
opinion-
a startup or you're launched or you're in beta for so long. And once you're kind of out there, then it's kind of like you're a company. Like you've kind of transitioned from, you can't be like, oh, we're still a startup. It's like, no, we're a company. We're out there. We're functioning. Like we're literally telling people we're better than you now. Like we have to deliver.
And now we have to be.
We have to deliver.
There is a difference. Well, you were like, there's no going back. And I'm kind of like, well, you could have said that to me 6 months ago. In my opinion, it would have been, there's no going back. Like there's been a lot of things that we've done where it's like, it's success or not. But anyway.
Yeah, no, it's not like
Now
no
it's
going
like we
back,
need to
like
deliver.
We're pot committed. We're going to deliver on whatever it is. For us, it's really the
You have to execute. You're ready to execute.
It's just
you have to deliver on your
execution.
promise.
And it's kind of like, hey,
Yes.
there's no going back. We're public about this. It isn't. You can no longer use the excuse that you're in stealth mode or that you're doing
a
other
startup or
things,
you're not ready to
startup,
launch
or
yet or
yeah.
introduce a new feature. Yeah.
It's like,
No, I get
hey,
it.
we got to deliver. We put a lot of stuff out there, and so now it's just execution. Anyway,
But
I'm
you were
excited
talking
and
about
scared
the
shitless
show.
at the same time.
No, it's going to
The
be
show.
great. You were talking about, you're definitely making a splash, taking a page out of like some of our old companies' book where it's like you show up in funky outfits.
You want to be the fun.
and You
Yeah.
want to bring the fun, and you totally will. And it's like, business in the front, party in the back, or party everywhere, and you actually know
I
what
think
you're
it's party
doing.
everywhere. Yeah.
There you go. People love
And
that.
You know what's
People do
crazy
love
about
that.
this particular show is the booth space is 6 by 8. It is
I
6 foot
know. This
deep
is the
and
one where
eight
you
foot
can't
wide.
bring
And
the
we had to get
backdrop.
we had to make a special change to our booth in order
I
to
know, it's
just to fit in
crazy.
this thing.
Never heard
We're
of that
giving away
before.
bags. Like it's like we're literally
Normally it's 10-foot booths, but this one for some reason is
and
not,
ten
which is
foot can be
crazy.
tight. If you get 4 or 5 people around you, a 10 foot
It just
booth
makes me
is.
wonder, like, are you in the hallway of a hotel? It's so interesting, like where you know, where everything gets set up. They like show you these floor plans and it's like, this is the room. And you're like, oh, that looks really nice. And then you realize, like, we're literally in the hallway. Like, I
Yeah.
thought it was a room, but we're
I know it's
not.
a room only because one, we saw the floor plan, and two, there's some people that have two booths, one out in the hallway
Oh, and
and
then
one
one
in the
inside.
room.
Yeah.
And
So weird.
it's kind of like one, it'd be two booths to go. But we're giving out like snowflakes and buffs. Like we made a significant investment to give.
Snowflakes. It's an ornament, by the way, for people listening. They're not just
Yeah.
like handing out like melted shards of
Well,
ice.
what's great about this is that, yeah, first of all, their theme is Christmas in July. We just didn't decide to do snowflakes in July. It was
Oh,
like
there. Okay, wait. I
their
didn't know
theme.
that. I
Yes,
did not know
their
that.
theme is Christmas in July. So, and they're like, a lot of people participate in the theme and they get into it. And we're like, you know what? We're going to go all in. We're going to be on
Nice.
brand.
Nice.
And that's
Nice,
why we
nice,
have the
nice.
snowflake jackets and
Got
the
it, got it, got
snowflake
it.
dresses.
Okay.
And so I'm hoping that we really, shine
Yeah,
compared to
you
everyone
will.
else. But
Or everyone's going to be wearing the same snowflake outfits.
just like any other startup, part of our goal is like, hey, how do we do something amazing on a budget, right? And so we
Right.
actually happen to have a machine that burns wood because we do it for our other startups and other things. And I was like, why don't we just cut out snowflakes? We've literally been burning snowflakes for literally the last probably 2 months altogether. Nice picture. I'm not sure what
I
that
was
was.
taking a picture of Pepper sleeping on the job. I'm going to send it to Maria for social.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. She's definitely a slouch. So we've been literally cutting those out. Brandon literally finished the last batch this morning, turned them over to Heidi, and we're going to be packing those things up and headed out. But
Well, it's so funny. What were you going to say?
what I was going to say is that no one steals booths. Like you don't steal a trade show booth. They're big, right? Like you can't walk off with those. But like, would you leave a laptop in a trade show booth?
Overnight? Absolutely not.
Yeah, anywhere. So like we have a lighted booth. And so we purchased one of those remote battery packs so that we could just plug our booth in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm like paranoid because one, it's not as much for this show because there's like three of us going, but then
Well, but
the
are you leaving it
follow-on
overnight?
shows.
How heavy is the
No.
battery?
Oh my gosh, it's got a built-in dolly because it's so heavy. Like it's
Well,
60
that's
pounds.
crazy.
So anyways,
But people can
I bought
dolly
an
it back
air
and forth.
tag for it
Oh
because
my God, you're crazy.
I'm like, I don't want this thing to just disappear. So I'm literally putting an air tag on this thing, and just in case it were to walk off or something, be like, oh, I accidentally drug it over to my place, or your room, be like, fall on the air tag and be like,
That'll
arrest
never
him.
happen. No.
It's not the people at the trade show. It's just
People take swag. It could be like the union workers for sure.
That's yeah. I mean, I'm not pointing fingers, but
No, but I get it. I
you just
get
never
it.
know who's attending. There are people that pass through that aren't even, I don't know what kind of on lockdown this booth is. I don't know if they're
Trade show
looking.
rats. The trade show rats that just come in to
trade
get
show
the free
rats.
the free swag. Do a little
Yeah.
loop early in the morning before it's actually even open.
Yeah, exactly.
So, a couple of things. One, you were talking about how after this trade show, I was going to talk about how Brandon was doing the snowflakes and using the vent yesterday because I went in and cooked, but we'll talk about that after. But for this particular trade show, you were saying you were going to follow up with like demos, and we were having this debate about doing individual live demos, doing group demos, doing pre-recorded demos, but individual ones with someone else there to facilitate questions after the fact, or doing live webinars with a Q&A. And it's like it is hard. Well, it's a good company discussion, for anybody. It's like, in what scenarios do you use which tools, and which one's going to drive sales? You know, because it's like you could sit there and say, well, it's a lot to put on 50 individual demos, but if your close rate with doing customized individual demos, understanding people's needs and showing a demo based upon those needs or discussion points based upon those needs, and your close rate's 50% versus doing a live webinar and getting a 10% close rate, you know, then
Absolutely. And
it's worth
that's
it.
what we're going to learn is, you know, this one here. And this came up because you and I had like a, it's so funny because I'm sitting there going, you're not listening to me. And you're like, you're not listening to me. And I'm like, no, you're
Last
clearly
night when
not
we were
listening to
talking
me.
about options. No, but
And
you also didn't know. Not like this. I understand. I was listening to you. What I was providing was just other options that weren't directly
you
aligned
were
with what you were
listening to
asking
what I
about.
was needing and you were trying to give me the thing and I wasn't having any of it. So I guess
No, you didn't
do I
want to
owe
hear
you
it.
an
But what
apology?
you didn't,
Was I wrong?
in that moment, I think you didn't understand what the tools were capable of. Like what you needed, you didn't think you could receive. What I was letting you know, you were like, we need to ensure people sit through a demo for a certain period of time. We're doing a contest to get people on these demos, and we need to ensure that they were live. And I was like, there are tools you can actually track, like who's live on your webinar. Did they sign in via phone or on a computer? Did they have visual access to what was being shown? How long were they there? You can literally see like the minute they enter and the minute they leave, because we used to have to do webinars for actual continued education credits, and this was the DFS, but there was so many requirements that we had to meet with the list of people getting their license, or education for their license, that like we couldn't mess around. We had to send out certificates to everyone after the fact. We generated and automated a huge process that had tons of red tape. So all I was trying to explain to you was that what you
Well,
wanted was possible.
you brought up a really good point. I just made a note to make sure that I added to the rules of the contest, which is that they need to be on a computer and they need to be on screen and stuff. And the goal is not.
I actually mentioned that to you last night, but you were too busy telling me that I wasn't giving you the right answers, that you didn't hear me say that.
Well, you know, I know you did. That's why I wrote it down because you reset it, and now I'm
Reiterated.
Here's the thing. You know, I am wrong a couple times a year, and I can accept that. So I will.
Clever.
I will. You know, here's the thing: is I'm always listening, and that's the one thing. I was listening to a podcast, and the guy said something. He's like, he was talking about why your team is never. They're like, why can't my team be as efficient? And he goes like the reason is it has nothing to do with their efficiency. It has to do with their ability to make decisions. And a lot of times, what ends up happening is that they want to do things. And then they end up coming to you to get the sign off, right? Like, hey, is this okay? Can we do this and stuff? And he goes, the reason why it feels fast to you is because you're the one that makes the decisions. And
Right.
so you don't need to go through this process. So things are much quicker and you're getting frustrated over it. And so, you know, how do we empower? Matter of fact, I mean, on our marketing and social side, right? Like we've literally empowered Maria to just be like, hey, this is what we're trying to get across.
Do
Just
it.
make it happen and do it.
I
We
used
don't
to have an
do-
employee who would literally come to me and say, you know, what should I do? Or blah, blah. And every single time my answer would be like, well, what do you think you should do? Like because she had done it so many times before, I was like, I know you know what to do, you know, or I know what would you do? And then she'd say, and I'd be like, that sounds great.
That sounds great.
Go
Do it.
do it.
Go
You know,
forth and conquer.
and then it got to the point where like she recognized what I was doing, and I'd be like, stop asking me. Every time you ask me, you give me the answer that I would provide you, you know, or that you already knew, you know, and she just needed like that justification or verification to like move forward. But it does, as a manager, it helps you build confidence in people to be like, you know what, you don't need to ask. And even when we do the interview process and we're talking to people about kind of the mentality and the empowerment within our company, a lot of it is like, hey, we'd rather you ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. Obviously, don't do anything crazy, but like we need people who are self-starters. Like we need people who are going to be like Maria and be like, okay, I need you to go build our social following and just go and do it. Like think outside the box, have some ideas and make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've actually made a lot of great additions to the team, and I think just the last couple weeks for me personally, turning over things and being like, okay, I need to breathe and just let it go, has actually been very beneficial because people are going out and doing it, and then also they get to test the waters a little bit,
Right.
etc.
And it shows you that they can.
But like, on a lot of different fronts, I don't think I shared this board, but we're sending out like 20 Kaloop investment boards. And
Don't worry. I tried to get to my office with 20 things in my hands yesterday and couldn't. So I'm aware.
Oh, because of all the boards that were on the floor and in the way. Yeah. And so it was amazing. One, technically he did know you were coming in, but like, it probably wasn't a thought like, oh, she's going to come through here.
It didn't matter.
I was so glad that everything was dry this morning, because I went around the table and I was like, wow, look at all those. And then I stepped and was like, oh, and then was on the ones that were all on the floor around the corner. And God. I was like, oh, thank goodness these are dry. Like,
it worked out because it actually forced us to set up a table inside of the filming studio to like stage like plates.
By the way,
and different things.
I saw that when I was
and I'm like, why didn't we do like literally? Why
haven't we done that before?
Oh my God! Like Maria's probably sitting there thinking the same. I was like, okay, because this stuff was in my way to get to my office.
So
I was like, I need a place to
bring
put this.
home that nice table, because that's one of our nice tables, and I'm going to bring you back one of the shittier tables that
That's
we have
fine.
in the garage that I think would be fine for the office.
Anyway,
that would be a nice
worked
pop
for
up
yesterday.
for that, because that was nice.
But yesterday was fun filming. It was a lot of fun.
We got you back in the saddle yesterday.
You did. I know. Well, you had this idea that like I would bring the baby to the office and you would watch her at the office, which by the way, it was like the cooking session was, I mean, at least 2.5 hours.
Oh gosh,
like,
it would have turned into a disaster.
It really would have been a disaster. And if she was like screaming or something in the other room, or like just upset or bored or whatever, then I would have felt like I needed to come and help you. And so, no, I was like, hey,
so we did
it's the end of the day. I'm like, why don't you come home and work? Which is so funny because I've joked that she's not like talking as much as she was before. And she only talks like when she's not getting attention. And yesterday you were like, I don't know what you're talking about. She was like babbling the whole time. I'm like, well, were you ignoring her?
I was ignoring her. I wasn't ignoring her. I actually sit next to her. But what I did was I ended up moving. I ended up going to the man cave and working. And then I just set her up next to me, and then just kind of looked at her occasionally. I was like, hey, how you doing down there?
I know.
And really what I was on was like mosquito patrol, because the mosquitoes are insane.
She's got so many bites.
Times.
I know. It's crazy.
I'm like literally like the mosquito slayer right now and buying things.
But we were doing videos yesterday for the new blackened seasoning. So we started with shrimp, which it's delicious on, and I made tacos I made.
That. I don't think you've ever made me.
Did Maria's brother like the tacos? I need to know.
She's shaking her head. She's saying yes. She's saying yes. He liked them. The cabbage slaw is definitely one of my favorites that you make.
That was one of the downfalls of doing it yesterday at the end of the day. That was normally if we cook, then we feed the office. Well, I say downfall. It wasn't really for Robin or Maria. Well, Maria doesn't eat shrimp, but we sent them home with food. But normally it's like, hey, everybody have something to eat here or whatever.
That is like an added bonus. And when you think about like adding to the team and then being like, hey, because sometimes we'll make like a bunch of steaks.
We used to make like 4 burgers, and then everyone would have a burger. Now everyone would be like, here's your
here's your little corner burger that you get.
This is all we have.
That's good though. Sometimes it's just nice to have a taste and to be a part of it. And then then you always have the. I mean,
but it was fun
we don't allow vegetarians here, but the
that's not true. We can't say that.
All right,
we can't say that. But Brandon was working on stuff in the studio, and so it was like the whole vent system that we normally have to cook inside.
We're making
wasn't
snowflakes.
Set up. And I know. And so I was like, that's okay. We can go outside and grill. And it was just so funny because there was Maria and I like sitting on the pavement. She can plug in a picture. I know Robin took some. I literally looked at Maria. I was like, I feel like we're sitting at a campfire right now. I had my like little tongs. It was like we were going to be like roasting s'mores, and she was like getting it on film. Everyone's driving out of the parking lot. It's 5:00. I'm keeping them after. We're like grilling up shrimp
if I was here,
outside.
I'd been like, you know what?
My butt was getting hot.
Knowing that
black.
we do have food after the fact, I would think that people would be like, hey, how come
shrimp is not everybody's thing. Brandon was leaving. He goes, do you need me for anything? And I said, well, do you like shrimp? Because if you do, wait 10 minutes, I'll give you dinner. And he was like, I actually don't really. But
how many shrimp did you make?
There was, I don't know,
I love
20
shrimp. I'm
20
kind of
shrimp.
I'm sensitive to shrimp.
To shellfish.
To
You should not be
shellfish.
eating
So I have to
shrimp.
be very careful, but I
It looks
definitely
beautiful though. It's a nice, it's aesthetically pleasing for
the shrimp
recipes.
or you
Yeah.
mean the shrimp look aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, in
Well,
general,
you know what
like
we
the blackened seasoning.
speaking of aesthetically pleasing, we have a client that we're building a mobile application for,
I
and
thought you were
they
going to talk
do
about me.
restaurants. You are aesthetically pleasing. As a matter of fact,
Kidding.
usually I walk in, I'm just like, wow, you're so aesthetically pleasing.
It's such a good compliment. Okay, you have a client.
Yeah, and so and I'll tell you what, the pictures that they were taking for the app was like
Oh, whoa, this was
horrendous.
crazy. Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? I think we
It's like
can
a
clean
restaurant.
these up with
Assume it's like a
AI.
restaurant that's like
Just
putting
any-
up like
yeah.
menu photos or something.
And if you
Yeah.
think of it, like most people take shitty photos to begin with, and if you ever try to take a picture of food, it looks horrible. Like, I mean, because most people don't do it like you do it, where it's like gorgeous and they're taking. You're over there in the corner and you're rotating it and getting light.
Not
and
even though. That's the
adjusting
thing.
and
Like a
moving
meal
your
can be
beans.
amazing, but like honestly, it's so hard to get a good photo. And actually, even yesterday when I went to plate, I like put the shrimp on and then I was like, where do I want these shrimp on this plate? Like plating is something that needs to be thought about. And unless you've like practiced it before and you know, like, okay, this is how I want it to look, like it just never comes out how you think it's going to come out. Like you
But
have an
see,
idea
we only
in your
have
mind.
AI plating. So we literally ran this through. I worked through the series of prompts and the food looks amazing. The food looks so amazing.
We
that
might need
if
to AI
I
my own
ordered it-
recipes.
Well, we should do it just for fun, just to see what it looks
Yeah.
like. But
Some of
what's
them could
crazy,
use the help.
No, yours look amazing. But what's crazy is that if I ordered the food, right, and then I got that, and then
That's the
I got
thing.
what actually was the picture,
You'd
I'd be
be
like, yeah, this is
No,
not.
what you mean is if you ordered the food, it wouldn't meet the expectations of the picture because
Correct.
AI.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Like I would look at it and be like, wow, this is absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to look at it. Like it's like, for example, everyone points to like you look at like a commercial with like a Big Mac, right? When you watch a Big Mac commercial, you're like, oh, that motherfucker's gonna be delicious.
Seriously, so
Then
good.
you get that
like
sandwich, you open
juicy
up the
and
cardboard, and it's just like, really?
This
Like, where's the
smashed-
meat? It's
yeah.
smushed. It's
You're like,
there's
oh,
like
no.
raggedy lettuce hanging off the side.
So brutal. I know.
And you're just
oh
like,
my God.
But it tastes.
Sorry.
But it
I
does
shouldn't
taste
even
so
dig
good.
on them. We ordered from, we never, ever, ever get like takeout. And we happened to order from a chain the other day, which is also very unlike us.
We did?
And it was so, you're not going to remember. They did give me a credit. I feel like, you know what? I'll use the name
yeah,
because
yeah, yeah.
they fixed the situation. But yeah, Chipotle. We got guac and chips and like not even just
the
the
guac
top
was
of
brown. It
not
was-
the just the
ugh.
top. The whole
thing was brown.
thing.
It's almost like it went bad and they just stirred it.
But then they just kept stirring it. Like it
Or
was
they
just
left
like
the lime
so
out.
bad.
I think the lime is what really keeps the
that
guac
shit was
looking
old.
fresh. It
That
was
was
old. We ended up
old.
getting a credit.
It was so
I think you got a
gross.
credit. We think you got a credit.
No, I
don't know.
did. I did.
You know, speaking of value, though, I'm going to change the subject a little bit.
Well, and the question is who actually calls Chipotle support?
Seriously, no one. They're like, you're literally like, I would like a credit for my $4 for chips.
By
and
the way,
guac.
I literally looked at you and I was like, I don't know the person's name. I'm like, Harry over in India right now is about to give me my credit for my bad guac. But good for them for having a system set up.
I will tell you that's
Because
one of the
no
things
one
that we
working at
always
the
do.
store who served that dirty guac gives a shit about me calling to say
No,
it was
they don't.
brown.
No,
But
no
Chipotle
one
does.
does. Yeah,
So
and
they
the-
set it up. They know their workers in the stores with their turn. You know,
Well,
they
and
don't
you
care.
can't- And the thing is that you know what a great thing. If you think about it, it's kind of like empower a team that can just give credits and whatever and just doesn't really matter what the reason is. Make the people happy, because the reality is that you need the people in that store slinging the bad guac stuff.
Yeah.
Like you need them just making it. You don't need to take that.
Well, and
person
it's
away
like a
from the
better
line.
job for them to not have to pick up a phone call as a manager and be like, hey, I had a
you know
terrible.
what? That's what we're gonna do on Kaloop. Like the beauty of this system is like when people call and complain. Imagine calling and complaining, and the person on the other line's like, "Hey, this is John at Kaloop. How can I help you?" "Oh, John, these people, they left their dirty, trash cans out. They're all over the place." "Oh, really? Go ahead and give me your address."
And
"Oh,
it's
that's
AI.
horrible." It's all AI, but it's
Well, so
but it
this is what's
actually
starting to
has
freak me
empathy.
out. I know, but this is what's starting to freak me out. Like, I literally got a sales call the other day for someone trying to be a financial advisor, and I was not interested. But I
Not
was
taking
like,
financial advice from AI, although it'd probably be better than.
well,
Here's
no,
the
but
thing about
hold on. I
financial
just didn't
advisors.
know. I didn't know if it was a real person or not. Like,
Yeah,
the way that it spoke, I was like, okay, am I starting to
if
get
I
cold
don't call
calls from
them,
AI?
yeah, they are calling. But here's the thing. Here's the thing about financial advisors. Any financial advisor who's like, "Hey, I would like to talk about your portfolio. What are you doing?" I'm like, "Okay, but as long as you come and you bring me all your books and what your net worth is." Like that's my one requirement to sit down with anyone is to be like, "Show me what you have and how you've been successful so that I should remotely listen to what you have to say."
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to have a financial advisor, you know?
I know because no one wants to do that because they don't have
Listen, you wouldn't anyway, but
who?
oh my
Me or
gosh.
them?
You.
No, if someone was like,
Both.
absolutely, I'm going to sit down, and they sat down and be like, hey, this is what the last 10 years is what I've done.
Show you they're
Here's
a
my bank
millionaire.
account, and they're like, here's my money sitting here. I'd be like, all right, I like you.
There you
I
go.
have yet to meet that person.
Our child has been flailing for a bit, but that's okay.
Oh my gosh, you got like off-screen camera and stuff.
Yeah.
I should have like off-screen of the office and be like, yeah, look.
What I was going to say is this is so off topic, but you were like super husband this weekend. Not only did you watch her while I
Of
came in to
course, I'm
cook,
super husband every day.
but that's true. But this weekend we stayed in town because I was hosting book club
You were.
and you like literally set up. It was a good book. It was The Great Big Beautiful Life. It was just like lighthearted and good. It reminded me of Evelyn Hugo, actually, for anyone who's read that book too. But Evelyn Hugo was better. But
I set up a table. I set up
yes,
basically all of
we
our
had like our
china,
Easter. So yeah, it was like our Easter
flowers,
china and
linens,
flowers. He did all the decor, and it was
chairs.
so nice. And there was one girl who's never been to book club, but we just had this stuff. So it was like, you know what? It's fun. Let's use it. Let's set up something nice. I made up like English finger sandwiches and almond croissants and like from a really nice
Hmm.
bakery. And it was beautiful. And, there was a girl who this was her very first book club, and all the other girls were like, by the way, like, do not, this is
This
not
is
what
not book
hosting
club.
needs
This
to
is
be like.
like
This is
next
not how it
level
normally is.
for everyone.
But it is nice. Like, when people host, it is nice. And everyone
I
has, like, really
guarantee you
nice
that the
houses
next
and
couple
stuff.
people are going to raise the bar a little bit, the standard,
Maybe that's what
because they're
you
going to do
said.
something nicer.
But here's what was nice is that like normally it only lasts for a couple of hours. Most of us are moms, like, or we're driving a long distance to get there.
Hmm.
Like a lot of these people live all over the state, so we're and I really love it. I wasn't part of it. I through a mutual friend, she kind of introduced me to a bunch of her friends that did this and
Yeah.
like included me, and I love it. And anyway. I had people over and I got like rosé and some bubbly, which normally it's there, but it's just like there. If you need it, you can pour a glass, you can whatever. But you know me, like we
Hostess with
host
the
and I'm
mostest. You're like,
you
let
have
me
to
top you
be.
off. Let's keep the party going.
It's the
Top,
power
top,
of
top, 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 top,
pouring.
top.
Yeah, if you have the bottle and you're like just a little more, then like, 3 bottles later, everyone's like having a great time. So normally it only lasts a couple hours, but people were over for like 4.5 hours.
That's
And
amazing.
you had the baby and like it was such a good time, but you did really good. And anyway, we some people left afterwards, and one of my girlfriends was like, I swear your house is like a porthole, like you go in and you just never come out. She's like, how has it been almost 5 hours? Like her mind was blown.
Well,
It was so
it goes
funny.
into just creating experiences, right? So at the end of the day, we're all human beings and we want to have a good experience. And if you're not having a good experience, you're like, you know what? I can go play on my phone. I can go watch a movie. I can do this. There's other things that you can do. And so I think that when you create a good experience, I like to think of it as what we do for the events at our homes is really an extension of who you and I are as people, right? It's just
Yeah.
these are things that we just do natively. But then we also try to bring them into the work that we're doing, whether it's parties, whether it's like this trade show, right? Like we're going
It's
over
just
the top
experiences,
because we
and it's
want
even
other
like what we
people
want
to
to
get
do,
sucked
like,
into our world.
but we also like we do it for each other. Like we try to do special things just because we half the fun is like getting it set up, and it's like it's this whole mentality of like giving. Like some people give to make themselves feel better versus like the actual giving. And there is this aspect of like giving experiences. It's like, yeah, it costs money and you do a lot of stuff, but to see other people enjoy it is,
themselves.
that's the true fulfillment for you. Like that's your own gift in itself,
Absolutely.
you know? And I think it's so cool. I really do.
It really is. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we do a lot of the different things that we do for the events is it is hard work. There is fun in doing it. And you and I make a good team, you know, me as far as decorator and you as food. You know, I think the two of us can really knock some things out. And I think a lot of our family appreciate it. And the fact that they share how much they appreciate it with us is what keeps us going, I think.
But also,
you know,
you are pretty good at telling me when it's not the right group to dedicate the time to, because I won't get the fulfillment that I want out of like the giving. And what I mean by that is like if I'm going to make an extravagant meal and there's people that you're like, these people, they could eat something nice or they could eat something disgusting. It's all the same to them. Like, don't waste your time. I'm like, okay, very good to know. I won't do a 12-hour
hot dog crowd.
You know, yes, you know, you're like, but sometimes it's like, hey, that's just not what this event is about. Like,
you know, you put a note in here. I agree and I do try to tell you that only because I know that your feelings can get hurt from a food perspective and everything. I have a note
I feel
here.
like I slaved over these braised beef short ribs
I know.
for 24
you want
hours.
people to sit there and talk about it
and for an hour.
For an hour. You
like
oh
we
my gosh.
like because
you know
food is love
by
to
the way,
me.
those
Like
braised
that
short
is
ribs were just so amazing.
Yes. But that's part of the experience. Like my mom has a girlfriend who had my mushroom pasta 2 years ago, and my mom said she still talks about it. I'm like, literally, of all your friends, she's my favorite till the end of time now. Like she talks about my pasta.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So it's funny because you're talking about food, and I'm thinking about the conversation that I need to have with a distributor that we have who wants insurance requirements.
I could tell you were distracted. You didn't even care
I'm
about the
literally,
friend that's still
it
talking
jumped
about my
up,
pasta.
and you said
2 years.
something, and I was just like, and my mind went over to this conversation.
Oh, you were gone. I was talking about this woman who loves my pasta for 2 years.
And you're not right here next to me to poke me and hit me underneath the table. So it's definitely harder than normal.
You know, you said I had a note written down.
Yeah, the note is about rum sundae. And,
oh my gosh.
and
well,
the
that's because we were in town. It's so funny. So you were like getting attacked by this huge plant. We went out on Sunday because I did book club on Saturday. So we were home for the weekend and we thought, we'll just enjoy our hometown. And so we went out and we were sitting at this table.
One of my new favorite places.
Yes, it's like got this beautiful outdoor patio. Seriously, the live music started on Sunday at 3 p.m. Like that's what dreams are made of. And so you were getting like attacked by these banana leaves and you were like sitting with them. So we were joking and I was like, hold on, I got to take a picture. And of course I did portrait mode and it's like, you know, a girl with portrait mode, you sitting with a tropical rum drink. It was like just the perfect scenario for a picture.
It's like my new profile picture now.
But you like put it on Facebook and you were like, just another rum Sunday. I'm like, oh, is this a thing? Like you get one picture in portrait mode with banana leaves behind you and a tropical drink in your hand and you're like, this is just a typical rum Sunday. These things happen all the time.
Welcome to paradise for all of you people stuck in the north.
Hashtag I live where you vacation.
Exactly. I think I did hashtag that.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I was like, live where
No,
you
you
vacation.
said one with the earth. Trust me, the rum was already hitting you. You and your banana leaves.
I did say one with the earth because I had like all the banana leaves around me. Rum, it's all natural and love and everything.
Yeah, rum's real natural.
Yeah, it was actually a great
from
picture. I looked at that picture. I was like, you guys send that to me. I'm like, I'm posting this picture. It was awesome.
I know. Instantly.
I go through phases where I won't post anything. And that's the thing is like, it's like balancing my Facebook is my personal Facebook. So I don't post too many businessy things on it, but I do post my life on it. You say I'm old school, like you're like, oh, you're old, you're on Facebook. I'm like, I actually like Facebook
you're
because
my old man.
It is literally like a time capsule for me. Like I can just see, you know, everything. And you know what? 20 years from now, when I close my eyes and dream in Facebook land, I can like walk in that picture. Because that's probably what it'll be like.
Which is the opposite of what everybody else does now, because people use stories. They're only up for 24 hours and there's no longer anything on your wall.
That.
Yeah.
Like you have no idea what you did last year. Yeah, but
I literally
you're the only one I know you're the only one I know that
I do
actually
it on airplane
flights, you literally go back and it's like nostalgia, right? Like
No, literally,
she,
especially if I'm
you're the
flying
happiest
alone.
person after a flight because you're like, oh my gosh, I've had a great life the last 12
Doesn't
months.
everybody do that? Don't you?
No,
There's nothing else
I've
to
never
do on a
seen
plane.
yeah, listen to music and sleep.
No.
I'm like
No
something about an
sleeping.
airplane when I go into I put
Workout.
I put my headset
It's
on.
so annoying.
I play a little music and I'm just like,
No. We are about to be traveling. So my computer is resting already. So we are about to be traveling to Michigan. Super excited. It's our summer trip. And we have one more podcast before we leave for that. But we were traveling with an infant, first flight ever, and our
and a
dog.
dog.
Yes. And so we thought, you know what could make the
We bought a
first
third
flight with
seat.
our infant even better is traveling with our animal as well. And
Yeah.
so
I think we'll be fine. If we hadn't have bought another seat, I think it would have been a little tougher.
we'll
but
be
we
fine
got,
if you don't fall asleep. I'm not doing this alone.
me and Abs are going to sleep together.
If you and Abs are sleeping, that's fine. I
I'm
can
going to
handle
hold her tight and
She'll be fine.
And she'll be fine.
But it should be
We just need
interesting.
to
It's
give her a bottle
definitely
or something so she's
we've
like
got like
"Nom,
two
nom, nom."
we've got like two family reunions coming up and it's going to be a great time. I'm super excited. But normally this is adults weekend, so we are literally breaking all the rules. It's completely sacrilege.
Well, it's
We're
because the
bringing our
people that would
child.
watch our child are going to be there, and so they're part of the adults and stuff. It is different and interesting, you know. But I think we're going to have a great time. I'm really looking forward to the euchre tournament. I get really upset because not upset.
You need to be on your best behavior.
I gotta
This
be on
is
my
why
best
I put it.
behavior because, like, literally,
so
the
worked
people
up.
there, one, they take it so seriously. Like, I'm there to have a good time, and these other people are like, "Rah," and they. Like,
But you're the one that ends up getting serious.
The thing is, no. What they
Oh,
do,
yes, you
what they do
do.
that pisses me off is that they don't
they
play the
throw
full
in the
game. They
cards.
throw the cards in.
Because we're professional euchre players, okay? We
Well,
already
first of all,
know
no,
if there's
we're
no
not at the
point in
Eagles.
finishing out.
We're not in the Eagles and Tawas.
Even when we are at the Eagles, oh my gosh, you guys, we go and play euchre tournaments like at these clubs, and Chris has been part of it before, and he's like sitting there yelling at these like old men and old women, like he's like, "You didn't put your card in," and these people, I mean, they've like dedicated their life to euchre, and Chris thinks he can tell them how to do it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, I'm sorry. Well,
No.
obviously,
And for those of you who don't know what euchre is, it is a Midwest card game. And if you
love
know,
that
you
game.
know. Anyway, I taught Chris. Look, if you didn't start as a child, you'll never get to the point where you can just throw cards in. I've never met anyone who
what are you
didn't
talking
grow.
about? I am like a massive. I could throw cards in, but to me, that just
No,
the game is
No,
just
you
not
can't.
as fun. It's not as
you
fun.
got to be thinking ahead.
By the
every
way,
step of
I
the
think
way.
you put a note in here about our special gift, and we can't say anything because people will hear this.
No, all I'm
before the
saying is
gift.
that we finally got our shit together. Normally it's like arriving the day before and it's a rush order. And so like this year we actually got it in time. But the worst part, not the worst part, but it's just funny because we always debate like, what are we going to get for our family? We like do something special every year. And this particular gift you mentioned probably 2 months ago where we could have ordered it with ample time. But I was like, I said no. And we've circled back around and our child is now starting to cry.
Okay. Well, we're at the 42-minute mark, so we're actually
There we go.
pretty far along.
Cut
You
it
actually did a great job.
off,
If you
people.
were on time, then maybe.
Excuse me? No. Although I did accidentally, I rescheduled the time and then it was for the
I'm
wrong
just
week.
teasing you.
Whoops.
I was working. Our other meeting went over.
This has been lovely. You weren't yawning today, so you know
I
we're getting
was hiding
places.
it really well. So it's harder when you're not here.
Okay,
So-
well I'll be back in August. Okay,
Okay.
We're lacking
All right.
childcare.
I can't wait till you be back.
If I'm going to be there in your childcare, then you know I'm going to be. Next is blackened chicken. We started with shrimp
And turkey.
Stay
brining.
tuned, people.
No, we're turkey brining.
I'm not brining a turkey. Not
I
yet.
am. All right. Until
Okay.
next brining.
What?
Later.
Goodbye.
Bye.